Okay, guys, good afternoon, all, and welcome on this live session. I'm Mahesh, and I'm going to explain you today the hassle-free browser issues which we can which we can't solve. Okay, okay. Now, what what I can go ahead today is first I'll explain you the actual problem statement. Okay, and then we'll go ahead one by one step. Let me show you the problem statement, guys. So let me create one Java project. Okay. I'll create one Java project and I can have, let's say this is a sample Java project. Now, let's take an example. Now you are currently having one browser. Okay. You are using this browser. Now, once you're using this browser, you can see there is a challenge while you are using a Selenium WebDriver to automate this browser. Now, let's say you are using a version of 103 from the Chrome, and tomorrow it is going to be updated to 104. So, always what you need to do is you need to pull this and you need to download the latest driver version from the Selenium site. And then you need to update it to your specific code base where you can update or refer that specific driver, the newer version. Now, this is very critical when you're working on a big framework. This is very critical and this process is a time consuming. Now, let's take an example. If you wanted to execute any of your sanity suit in the morning and you find your script is failing due to your browser is update. It has a latest browser version and you are supporting to the earlier browser version. So because of that, what we do is we can resolve these problems using a very simple management or very simple library that is a WebDriverManager. Okay. So we can manage all your drivers using a WebDriverManager. So I'm going to showcase that today, how we can do that. It's a very simple process and very easy to manage all your browser versions and no need to maintain a single browser at your end. There is no need to download the driver even on your end. Okay. So now let's see. So let me go back and first I can go to Selenium download. Okay. So let me write down here Selenium download first. I can go to this selenium.dev site. From here, what I can do, I can simply download this stable version of Selenium jars. Okay. So I'm getting this 4.4.0. This is the latest jar from the Selenium. If I can go back here, I have that jar file here. Okay. So let me extract it to Selenium jars. I will mention the folder name Selenium jar. Okay. Selenium Java jar. And I'm extracting all those jars into this particular folder. So these are all the jars that we do have now. So now, after the jars, what I need is I need a specific browser which I wanted to work. So let me go back and let me go down from the platform supported by Selenium. There are multiple platforms Selenium supported. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this as a Chrome. Okay. So I'm just clicking on Chrome. I'm going to the Chrome documentation. Now, if you can see, this is what the latest beta version and the stable version, but I need some older version because I wanted to show you how it will break. Okay. So let's take an example. If I can download any one of this. So I'm just downloading this Chrome driver of 102. Okay. This version I'm just downloading. I'm going to Windows 32 zip and I can get it that Windows 32 zip also here. So if you can see, I have the Chrome driver and I have the Selenium Java jars. Okay, both the things. Let me extract this also at a specific location. I'm saying these are all my drivers, so I can get it driver directly from this folder. Okay, so this is what my driver is. So now I have Selenium driver, and I have a specific Chrome driver also on my machine. So I have driver and I have Selenium JAS. Let me delete this extracted file, so no need to have any confusion. So this is driver, this is JAS. Now I go back to my Java project. Okay, so this is what my new Java project which I have created. I'm just adding the dependency of all those Selenium library. So let me go back here. I'm going to libraries. I'm going to add Selenium libraries here. Okay, so that is what live session, and I have Selenium Java JAS. Okay, so I'm just going to select that, all the libraries. I'm going to select this. So all the Selenium libraries are there to my reference libraries folder. So now I'm all set to write my Selenium Java code. Okay, so I'm going to write a code for Selenium WebDriver where I'm going to open the Chrome browser and I wanted to enter google.co.in. That's it. We don't have to do much more on this. So let's go and see what are the challenges, problems. We will find it now. Okay. So now I'm going on the SRC folder, going to create a new package. And I said this is Selenium package, for example. Okay, so I said Selenium package. Now I'm going to create a new class. I'm going to create a new Java class where I'm going to say this is Selenium test. Okay, so I say Selenium test and this is what public static void main. So I have my Selenium test with public static void main. So if you cannot see this, let me make it clear on this. Just a second, guys. I'll just make this text and the font. I'll just change it so that at least anyone can see it. Okay. So I want the board and I need any of specific. Let's say you can see this one. Okay. And I can make it 20. So you all can see the code base now, hopefully. Okay. So very clear now for everyone. Okay. So now this is my simple Java code. What I'll do, the first thing that I would like to do is my driver. Okay. So I'm just doing here to set the system property where I kept my Chrome driver. Okay. But see what I did. I purposefully taken a Chrome driver of the older version. Okay. So now let's go back and see what I'll do. So system.set property. System.set property. So I'm going to set my property with this. Can anyone? So here I'll say dot driver. Okay. This is what my key and I wanted to give the value. So let me get that value from here where I have kept. Okay. So I'll keep it here. I'll just copy this URLs to save your time. Okay. And I'll say this is what my Chrome driver .exe. So this is what my basic test where I'm just setting up my system property. If you cannot see on this page, so let me tag this to the next line so that at least you can say I'm setting my system.set property webdriver.chrome.driver. Okay. And then next is I'm setting up the instance of a WebDriver. I say WebDriver driver equals new Chrome driver. Okay. So this is what I have done. And now I say driver dot get and I'm going to give here specific URL. So any URL is okay for me. Okay. So let me see if I can have any URL. I can say Google directly. Okay. I'll just copy that Google. Okay. So I'll simply copy this. Now let's save this program. Okay. So what I did, I have simply code base where I'm just opening where I'm just opening my google.co.in the Chrome browser. I have downloaded the Chrome driver purposefully, the older version, because I wanted to show you the problem statement, real problem statement, what we have faced regularly. Okay. So we wanted to just target that problem statement first. Now, the important thing is here that this the Chrome driver is older. Okay. Chrome driver is older, but but using the same code base in the future, we wanted to run using a WebDriver manager. Okay, that time we'll see how we can remove a lot of dependencies from here. Okay, so now let's move to the next. I'm just right clicking on this and I'm just running this program. So I have executed this program, Chrome driver started and it is failed. Look at here. And the code gets failed. Can you see? The session not created exception. The issue is session not created exception. The issue that we have got is session not created exception. Why that issue or why that exception comes, there is only one reason behind it. Because it is saying the version of the browser version you have is 105. Okay. And the driver version that is you are having is supporting only 102. See, the Chrome driver supports only 102, but you have the browser version, the latest one that is 105. Now, how many times will do that? Let's say if I'm again downloading 105 Chrome driver and again I'm going back and tomorrow my browser get updated to 106, again that will fail. So these are the regular issues or we can say the concerns during the automation testing. Okay, and that takes a lot of maintenance. Sometimes in the middle of execution it will break. Lot of issues for that. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we resolve this issue. So let me go back here. Now the problem statement, everyone clear about this problem statement so that I can go ahead and I can show you the further process now. Yeah, okay. So now let me create a new project. Okay, so I'm going to create a simple Maven project so that it will not take much time for you. I'm creating a simple Maven project. I said next. I create a simple project and I said next. And on the group ID, I add a WebDriver management. Okay. And artifact ID, I'll do it a WebDriver manager implementation. Okay, I'll just do WebDriver Manager implementation. Forget about all other versioning, packaging, parent, and all other things. Okay, I don't want to go in that detail right now. So I'm creating a simple Maven project. I'm just adding my group ID. I'm just adding my artifact ID. Okay, so I'm not going more in detail of those areas. Let me finish this. Once I have finished, my Maven project is all set and ready, and it is all available for me to write my code now. It is all available to write my code now. Now, the first thing is you need all the browsers. You will face the same issue on the different and multiple browsers too. Like the same issue what I have shown you on the Chrome, similar issue you will find it on Edge driver or Edge browser or your Firefox, your Opera or your Safari. Okay. We wanted to remove all those dependency for every individual browsers. Now what I'm going to do, there is a Maven project and there is a form.xml. So I'm just opening this form.xml. Now form.xml where I can add my dependencies. Okay. So I needed two things. The first thing, let me write down here so that you can understand. Or if you want, I can write it in the code itself so that you can get it that later on also. If you want this code, I'll share it that immediately. The first thing that you need is a WebDriver Manager libraries. The first thing that you need is WebDriver Manager libraries. Now, what is WebDriver Manager libraries? What it helps? So it will help you to load your driver at runtime. Okay? You will get any of the driver at runtime is what the first thing that you will get it. And what second area that you need? You need a Selenium Java library because we are working on Java right now. So we need Selenium Java library because it is just a web driver, right? Which helps you to open the browser, which helps to automate browser. So that is your second requirement. So now we'll go with this one by one. So I'll just share this code base. You will have everything. Don't worry about it, guys. Now, the first thing WebDriver Manager library, second one is Selenium Java library. Let's go back and see where we'll get it. So if you know there is Maven organization, okay, where I can write a search.maven.org. Okay. And once you open that search.maven.org, here you will get all the dependencies, all the jar files for every individual libraries, which are those are freely available, open source. All those libraries you will get it at Maven site. Okay. Now the first thing, I'm just getting a WebDriver manager. The first thing, the first library that I have needed is WebDriverManager. So you can go with GitHub Bono Garcia. Okay. So just go with this GitHub, the first URL. I'm just clicking on here. I'm just clicking on here. Here you can find all the version of those specific WebDriver Manager libraries. Now we'll go with the latest one, whichever just the latest available. So that was just in the last month, that is 21st August. Let's go on this 5.3.0. I'm just clicking on that. Now here there are multiple things. Either you can download the jars from here. If you can see this download, you can just click on this download and you can see if you want the Java docs, whatever you want. Okay, you just get it from here. If you are working on Maven project, you can get this Maven dependency. If you're working on Gradle, you can get from the Gradle. All those things you will get it from here. So currently we are working on the Maven. So I'm just copy this dependency. Look at here. I'm copying a WebDriver Manager 5.3.0, the latest version dependency from here. I'm simply say Control C. I'm going back to my project one more time. I'm going to my form.xml, and if you can see there are 6 different tabs on the below. So form.xml, the last one, form.xml. Here what I'm going to do, I'm going to add all my dependencies. Okay. The first of all, I'm add all my dependency. The first dependency as mentioned earlier, I'm going to add for this WebDriver Manager. Okay, so first dependency I'm going to add is WebDriver Manager. Is it clear? Okay, so now let's go back. So the first one that I have added is WebDriver Manager. So here is what I have added, the version that is 5.3.0, and this is what the provider, and this is what the artifact ID or that library's name. This is the first dependency I have added. Now I'm going back. Now the second thing that I have looking for. Okay, the second thing that I have looking for is Selenium jars, as I mentioned. So I'm going to add here a Selenium Java. So I have added Selenium Java. If you can see, we always use a Selenium HQ.Selenium, the Selenium library. So I'm going on this 4.4.0. So which is going to provide me the Selenium Java 4.4.0. If you remember on the Selenium site, I have downloaded the same version. If you can see back here on the live session, if you remember, I have downloaded the Selenium jars with 4.4.0. Now the same jars I'm going to add it here. So let's go back and see there is again, if you want, you can go and download the jars, or if you're working on Maven, then go and get that Maven libraries from here. Go and get this Maven libraries from here. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear, everyone? So I'm just getting this copy, this Maven libraries. I'm going back here. I'm just adding, and I have added both the libraries. The number one, that is your WebDriver Manager. Number two, that is Selenium Java. So if you saw here, I have added both these dependencies. Those are needed to start my work. Okay. And let me go back, select this. I'm going back and I'm seeing format. So now I have complete my form.xml up and ready. Now I have my complete form.xml up and ready. So I'm just saving this code now. So I have saved this code, and if you can see, my Maven dependencies are all downloaded. Look at here. My Maven dependencies are all downloaded. So as on now, we have just downloaded the Maven dependencies for WebDriver Manager and Selenium Java. Now let's write your code. Now let's write your code. Hmm, 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 hmm. Is it clear till this point, everyone? Okay. Any question till this point, you can ask me. Okay. I'm just reading your comments also, if you want. Okay. Let's move ahead, guys. Okay. So I don't know, but if you can see it in Zoom, I haven't did anything. Hopefully that is because of my laptop. I mean, it's in good shape, probably because of that, but I can continue. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going back here on the test. I'm saying new, and I'm saying a new class. I'm getting one package, that is the WebDriver Manager package. I'm just creating one package here, and I'm just creating a class, that is WebDriver Manager, WebDriver Manager implementation. Okay, so I have a class WebDriver Manager implementation. I'm just finishing this. So this is a new class for me now. Now what I need, I don't want to write a bigger code now. I don't want to write a bigger code now. So I can write this code in a very simplest way where anyone can understand. I can write this code in a simplest way where everyone can understand. The first thing that I need is to set up a WebDriver manager for any browser. I am going to do a setup for WebDriver manager for any browser. How I'll do it? Look at here. I'll simply say WebDriver manager. I'll simply say WebDriver manager dot dot which browser? I say Chrome driver. What you want? I said I wanted to do the setup. Look at here. Simple one line of code. Simple one line of code. There is no system.set.property. There is no system.set.property. I am simply writing WebDriver dot Chrome driver dot setup. So manager is setting up my Chrome driver at runtime now here. I'm not going to do any additional task. And second thing is, I am opening a Chrome using my Chrome driver. Done. So how do I do it? I write always a code driver equals a new Chrome driver. I write my code in a very simplest way. See, there are two lines of code. The first one where it is managed by WebDriver now, all your driver version, whether you have the latest, whether you have the older version. So whenever you use WebDriver Chrome driver, it will use any of the version, the latest version that you do have. And then I'm saying I am opening a URL into an address bar. Let's do that. So how? So you will simply write driver.get. What was your URL earlier? So you just paste it here. Oh, so I'll just say it is my https www.google.co.in. So if you can see, I'll show you both the code. Look at here the earlier code. I was writing system.set property on all this, then WebDriver, Chrome driver, and then google.co.in. But now this line is replaced. The system.set property, whatever property you are setting up at runtime, now it will be removed and it will be helped by a WebDriver manager to you. No need to download any of the browser. Here you are always downloading one of the Chrome driver for you and then you will execute. Now that is not needed. Now that is not needed. Okay. So let me run this program and show you the output. Let's run this program and see the output. So it should open your Chrome browser. Look at here. And it is opening your google.co.in. Look at here how simple it is. Look at here how simple it is. So it is simply open your Chrome browser of your choice. The browser of your choice. Okay, browser of your choice. And then what you are doing? You are opening a Chrome. Now if I wanted to change, this to any specific different browser version, or let's say any different browser. First of all, I'll show you for any different browsers, then we'll go ahead with that, okay? If I wanted to do it from any different browsers, how do I manage it? How do I manage it? Let me close this. Now, let's say I wanted to open this for Edge. See, I'm simply changing this Chrome driver to Edge driver. Look at here. I simply change this to Chrome driver to Edge driver. And I'm changing this Chrome driver to again an Edge. Now I am opening the same URL for the Edge. Look at here. I'm running the same code and see it will work on Edge also. It will launch my Edge browser. See, it will launch my Edge browser. Look at here at the bottom. It is launching my Edge browser. It is launching my Edge browser with the google.co.in. How simple. So all the struggle, all the challenges of maintaining your drivers are removed. Look at here. Now if I change this to the Firefox. Okay, now I change, Now I change this to the Firefox. Okay, and I'll make it here Firefox driver. See, it will launch my Firefox also. Let me show you. Let me run this program. Look at here. It will launch my Firefox drivers. Look at here. This is what my Firefox browser. This is what my Firefox browser is launched. So at the same two lines of code, I can do all other browsers to be launched from this simple WebDriver Manager. There is no impact on my driver. I don't want to maintain the driver as an history, like how we maintain the driver, downloaded the driver here. We are maintaining the history of the driver, let's say 102, 103, 4, 5 and all. Now this is not needed. Whatever version of the driver you needed, you can do it. Now, if you wanted to go it and do it in much more simplest way, what you can do? You can have your simple test. Let's say public, static, and you said avoid open Chrome. I would say, okay. Similar way, you'll simply copy this code. If you ask me, simply copy this code. Simply copy this code and see. Here you can use a Chrome. If you wanted to use for multiple driver, multiple browser, you can do it like this. You can create your common function in this way. You can create your common function in this way. You can have your driver at a global level and set the driver value from the open Chrome. Similar way you can have for multiple, right? If I said I wanted to do for Firefox, I said public static void Firefox. Okay. So this is how the simplest way. And I simply call that method here and I'll just get the output. Which browser you want to open? I said, let's open an open browser, open Chrome here. I simply said open Chrome and that works. If I wanted to open in the Firefox, you just set up the Firefox and you just execute the same test. That should work. That should work. Got my point. So this is how the simplest way to maintain any of your browser history from here. You no need to maintain the drivers. So your hassle-free solution using a WebDriverManager is this, where you can remove the dependency of regularly driving or downloading the Chrome driver. Okay. Now let's take an example. Now I have a very specific Chrome browser version. Okay. And I said, no, I don't want to update my Chrome driver. That means my browser version. So how do I manage using a WebDriver Manager? So there is one more additional method. So what you can do, you can simply say, I wanted to open my driver version. I wanted to open my driver version. Let's say I said 102.3.4.5, whatever the version is. You can say very simply, I wanted to, using a WebDriver Manager, I wanted to open this driver version. So it will runtime set the version of driver like this. And it will have the driver, the Chrome driver of this version. Okay, so it will have the Chrome driver of this version. So this is how the WebDriver Manager maintain the separate version, any specific version, as well as the latest version too. And this is how it will help you to resolve any problem statement that you would have to download the regular drivers. So that will be resolved using a WebDriver Manager. Okay. So this is how, guys, I wanted to show you the WebDriver Manager implementation, where you can utilize that into your existing framework and you can get this benefit into an existing framework, or you can suggest within your organization too. That is a good progress and good things that you can project to any of your management. So this is how I just wanted to explain today. And thank you so much for joining the WebDriver Manager implementation session today. I would request everyone or every individual, please provide any of your comment, what next topic that you would like me to take on the next Sunday. Okay, now these sessions are regularly on every Sunday at 3:30. So before that, before we leave, you can mention your comment into the comment section of this video, which new topic that you would like me to take. I'll go ahead and I'll consider those topic first. Okay. So have a good day, guys, and take care of yourself and your family. Bye.